Welcome back, friends. We are going to continue with our track and field unit, and even though we're not doing a field day this year, we can still practice the skills so that when next year comes, we're ready. So we are going to work on 3 different types of jumps today: a standing long jump, a running long jump, and a vertical jump. We've already done some jumps in class. When we've talked about locomotor skills, we have done hopping on 1 foot. We have done just a regular jump, 2 feet. Done a lot of that when we were doing jump rope. And then we've also done a leap, which looks like this. And that's a locomotor skill because you can use that to move. So we're kind of building off things we already know as we work on these 3 jumps today. The first jump we're going to work on is the standing long jump. So that means we're going to start from a standing position and we are trying to jump as far as we can. I've linked some clips so that you can watch real track athletes do that. But I'm going to give you some cue words and some thoughts so that you can get practicing. So at the standing long jump, you're going to start, I'll start facing the camera. I'm going to say a wide base. That means my feet are not touching. That would be a narrow base. I'm going to have my feet about as far apart as my shoulders. We're going to bend at the knees and at the waist. So I'm going to go from standing tall to crouching down, almost like a full squat. My arms are engaged because my arms are going to swing like this to help me get momentum to pull forward. I'm going to jump off 2 feet and I'm going to land on 2 feet. So here, bending arms, and I kind of like 1, 2, and then on 3, I pull forward with my hands and I try to jump forward as far as I can. 1, 2, 3, and I land on my heels first because I don't want to fall down. If you fall down, that doesn't work out. So I want you to practice the standing long jump. Legs apart. Lower your knees, bend your hips, swing your arms for momentum. Land on your heels with your knees bent. You do not want to land with straight legs. You want to land with knees bent. You can do this on any floor, living room, hallway, outside, driveway. Any surface is fine for standing long jump. All right, friends, I had to change location. Some people came into the gym. So I was giving you instruction on how to do the standing long jump. And I didn't actually say practice, but at this time, if you haven't already, I want you to pause the video and do, how about 5 sets of 3 jumps. So that would be 5 groups of 3, 15 jumps, but I want you to take a break in there. So you'll get ready, swing your arms. 1, 2, 3, take a break, get a drink, and I want you to do that 5 times. All right, we're gonna continue to practice. I grabbed a pair of shoes. What you need is at least 2 things to mark your jumps, to mark a start line and to mark a landing. If you have a partner, a person, a brother, sister, classmate, someone who can do this with you, it would be way more accurate. But we're just gonna pretend like we're by ourselves, and if you have someone to work with, great. So I'm gonna use one of my shoes as a marker for my starting line. If I were in the gym, you know, a line on the floor. If you're outside, a piece of sidewalk chalk, an old jump rope to lay on the ground, something where you know that you begin from the same spot every time. The other one is gonna go where you land. So if you're by yourself, you want this in your hands. So pick a small object. I'll do my jump. And then when I land, I'm gonna place that right at the back of my heel. And so now when I jump, I'm gonna try to beat that. That's like my goal, to go past that. 1, 2, 3. And I did beat it just a little bit. So now I'm gonna bring it forward and I'm gonna try again to beat that. Oh, I beat it by just a little bit. So that would be another way you can practice. If you have a partner, I think the best way to do this would be with like a big tape measure, if one of your parents has one of those, or in a sewing basket if they have a long, like, I want to say ruler, but a ruler would be hard and flat, like a long measuring tape. Maybe your classroom teacher would let you borrow a yardstick, something to measure so that you know how far you jumped, and then you could continue to measure how far you go. But if you don't have measuring things, then just grab 2 items. So go ahead, and I want you to practice while actually measuring your jumps with objects or with a measuring tape, okay? Okay, the second jump is the running long jump. First thing, this really should be done like on a track, jumping into like what looks like a sandbox or sand pit. If we were in a gym a few years ago, I probably would have taught you this running from the gym floor, landing on a gymnastics mat. Here I am in an old music room. So I'm gonna be really careful about the way I actually jump because I don't wanna hurt my knees and ankles and feet. But I'm gonna show you the form in case you have a place where you can practice this. Practicing this in the grass at home would probably be pretty safe. Like I said, if you happen to have a sandbox, or if you can go up to the school and jump into some sandy, dirty area where it's not going to hurt you, that would be best. Do not do this on cement. I would not recommend it on cement. So, running long jump, you would run, and then you're actually gonna do a leap, and you're gonna land on 2 feet. So it's run, leap, land. I am obviously sharing a link of a real track athlete doing that, but I'll do my best to kind of show you here in this space. So I would slow motion, run, 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 leap, and land. Run, leap into the air with 1 foot, land on 2. Like I said, you're really gonna have to watch the link to watch how this really looks. I'll share a couple of those, but I wanted you to know what it is. Even if you are in a house or in a room like me, you could practice a run, 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 leap, land on 2 feet. Once again, you don't wanna fall back. If I were in a real competition and I run, 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 leap, land, and then fall backward, the measurement is wherever your very first mark in the sand is. So you don't want to fall back. If you have to fall, falling forward would be best. You don't want to land on your bottom either. You want to land on your feet. So once again, one more time, run, leap, land. So no matter where you are, I want you to spend the next few minutes practicing what I just modeled. And then maybe brainstorm, think, is there somewhere else I can go and really do this to my full potential? My fastest run, my biggest leap, my farthest jump. And that would be the second place that you would practice. Okay, we're on to our third jump, the vertical jump. We have talked about the vertical jump this year because it is used in volleyball, basketball, baseball, pretty much any sport that you might need to jump. If you're in soccer and you're the goalie, you might have to do a vertical jump. Once again, in volleyball, you jump to block or to hit. If I'm playing baseball and someone hits a fly ball, I might have to jump to catch it. When you're playing basketball, you do a vertical jump to get a rebound. So vertical jump is an important skill. Kind of a weird like camera stand. So I'm going to show you here from my body, and then I'm probably going to show you another view where you can see where my hand is actually going to go. Like the standing long jump, I start with a wide base, meaning my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm going to crouch down, got my elbows back, and then I'm going to take off my 2 feet. I'm actually going to jump with just one hand up, whatever hand is closest to the wall or whatever you're trying to touch. And I pretty much just shoot straight up. So I use my arms to not pull me forward like last time. My arms are gonna pull me up. I'm really gonna try to explode using my lower body muscles to shoot up and just jump as high as I can. So we'll give it a try here. I wanna make sure nothing's like too much in the way. So my arms will start and then I'll shoot up, and this one, the closest, will go as high as it can. So wide base, bend down, swing my arms, Ooh, I wish you could have saw that. I almost said probably this far from the top of the ceiling. I'll try again. Wide base, bend down, swing my arms, and then land once again. If you notice my landing, I'm back down like this. I don't step like this. That's gonna be bad for your knees. So land in a bent knee, kind of ready position. One more time. Okay, so I want you to give that a try. I'll give more direction in a moment, but I want you to at least get your body used to that first squat and pulling up with one hand. All right, so you can see from here my lower, I'm sorry, you can't see my lower, you can only see my upper, but I'm hoping you can see how far I get. So here's my standing reach. This is me standing. I can just touch this white part of the wall. I'm gonna try to get, when I was showing you my first example, I was getting around the red letters. So I'm gonna see if I can, how I do and if I can get above those red letters. So I'm here, crouch. Ooh, I did just get right above. I'll try again. Here, crouch, swinging my arms. All right, if I do just one arm, I can kind of stretch it a little more than when I have both arms. That's why we just use one. As for practicing at home, actually, let me change this view and I'll tell you about how to practice at home. Okay, to practice at home, it depends what it's like where you live, how high the ceilings are, how tall you are. I would recommend, as usual now, that you get outside if at all possible. I have two thoughts about where I would practice outside if I were at home. One, if you're lucky enough to have a basketball hoop around, a lot of kids like to try to jump right under the net and they try to touch the net as high as they can. Don't grab the net, just touch. Grabbing it, your fingers get caught, it could be an injury. So don't grab the net, just try to touch. If you have a tree nearby, you might be able to try, like the branches and the leaves are starting to grow. So you might want to try to touch something that's hanging from a tree above. That would be a good spot too. If you are indoors, once again, you're just gonna need to judge how high the ceiling is if you have room to do your best. If you have a shorter ceiling and you're closer, you're just gonna have to pretend, get that idea. I'm practically leaving the ground, but I'm getting that squat in, that motion, and you're gonna have to practice like that. It's up to you to be, like I said, as creative and thoughtful as you can be about where you can get your best practice. But at this point, I want you to find the best place you can to practice your vertical jump.